Morning, Kim.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm
You got a new mug?
Oh, yes.
Practice. Good. What am I drinking? Oh, I'm drinking a thing called sapsucker.
Aha. First
Weird.
thing in the morning.
Yeah, it's not booze. It's not booze, but it's organic maple water. All right, so we are going to chat a little bit today. So I wanted to know, with Sensational Stories from Seniors, who are you wanting to write books? Why? Who? What? Where? When? Why?
Wow. Loaded question,
I
not
know.
fair. Okay, so I'm a brand new business and I want to write about, I'm not always sure. I have beliefs and they were created when I was starting out on my own. You may recall I had some incidences last year. They scared me and I had stories in my head and I just wanted to make sure that I didn't die and take them to my grave.
Right.
So because of that, I had some initial opinions and I'll explain how they changed. But basically, I was thinking of people who they knew they had limited time. And they're totally capable operating their computer, running through websites and things of that nature. And that something about what I said or what I presented would cause them to say, yep, I got to get that done. Then I realized that might not be the correct assumption of who wants to write a story. Is, for example, I have a friend who was in charge of a major expressway in the community, and that expressway was really needed by the community. It really helped. And that his story would be a story that many people in the community now or in the future would want to read about. And I had another friend who was a very famous hockey player. And I had another friend who was a doctor, but spent a lot of his time donating his time in communities where they didn't have a lot of medical assistance and they didn't have extra money for expensive doctors. So I started realizing that there are a lot of community stories. And in telling their story, it's not something that drives them to think about this is going to be a bestseller, but rather just to leave a memory of a time for future generations to look back and reflect on how they went through that process of helping out in the community.
Nice. So it's their own personal stories, but community stories, or maybe it's the story about how a town started, or it's about history and where we are today.
Yes. In fact, we live in a city where a lot of our history can be tied to the stories of our native people. And I'm fortunate to have a friend. He's a mix between Scottish and Cree ancestry. He spent a lot of his time digging for artifacts around the city.
Nice.
He has so many stories. I could probably write 40 books with him. But having his life the way it is, we're not all centered the same. We're all a little bit different. And when it comes to artwork, he is so incredibly gifted.
He tells the stories a different way.
And when I say, are you going to share the books? Yes, books. He's got 4 books that are at least 100 paintings each. And he goes, no, they're for me. So maybe someday I'm going to meet people who in their life, they were collecting memories, whether it's pictures, stories, artwork, artifacts, certainly experiences. And I'm going to meet these people. So how does the story get started? I'm pretty good at asking questions. I'm truly interested. So I'm going to be inquisitive the same way a friend would be. I just met you, Kim. We're talking. Oh, that's interesting that you did that. Tell me a bit more. And these are how the ideas begin. I think writing is a wonderful way to live. In fact, I have a book about it. But
That's right.
not everybody is like me.
Mhm.
However, if I tell my story often enough, I'm going to find people that want to write their story, their way, and they need somebody who is professional enough to do it and humble enough not to change who that person is.
Nice. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Cheers to that.
Wonderful. And I hope I get to talk to you tomorrow.
Oh, always.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.